I was born 2 months premature. They said I had a lack of oxygen to my brain. I'm assuming it was partially to do with my mom's bad choices. My medical designation is spastic cerebral palsy. It's a neurological condition that was created due to a lack of oxygen to my brain during birth. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy. Being told that you can't go places because you're disabled. When I was trying to go into school, the Vancouver School Board at the time would not accept me because of this disability. I was a campaign child for one of the big charities, United Way, and I was working with Tony, and I called them up and I said, I need help. They did a story, and the school board changed their decision, and then I was allowed to be in school. I've had about 66 surgeries so far. Could potentially be more than that. I've lost count. The amount of time it takes for me to recover from the surgeries is incredibly long. So there was a lot of depression, a lot of not feeling wanted, not feeling accepted, even some suicide attempts. And then finally, I started just to meet people that made me feel good and started to recognize what I'm capable of.
Load her up, take your time, no rush. There we go.
And at first I was kind of skeptical, boxing, no way. But then I started trying it, and I could barely throw a punch in the very beginning. And now I can actually hit those pads so hard that you can hear the pad snap. So it's pretty intense. It's reduced my pain by half. I'm no longer on narcotics to help me control my pain, which I was about to be down that same road of addiction.
And she basically, wanted to wheel around Stanley Park on her manual wheelchair. And we worked maybe a year or two around the track, and basically we were able to do it under 6 hours. It was 3 hours, but I mean that's in itself is a very big accomplishment.
But it was also a way for me to kind of release the feeling of the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse. But it was his belief and trust and faith in me that I would be able to overcome all of this stuff that gave me the confidence to even try.
She talked to me about something like 66 surgeries. It's significant. I think that must have a huge impact on your childhood and how you're able to enjoy it. And just to see her now be this force, this advocacy force for change in our community, I think is really powerful.
I've done lots of interviews about safety, and I've helped with politicians and their provincial, municipal, and federal campaigns, talking to them about accessible issues. But in 2018, I was asked by the mayor of the city of North Van to become part of an advisory committee for the North Shore on accessibility issues. And then that's how that all started, with checking out buildings, roads, sidewalks, just putting them back up to ADA standards.
Louisa has been instrumental in pointing out the deficiencies we have. The need, for example, for people in wheelchairs, with walkers, with handicapped scooters, the ability to navigate their way, particularly at the corners, when you come down the requirement for letdowns, so that they can safely get off the sidewalk without tipping over.
It'll be good to finally have the
You have a Jerome Center open.
Yeah, it would be. The reason I fight so hard is because I don't want people to have to suffer the same way I did. Because they don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge of how to take care of a child with a disability or an adult with a disability, because you can become disabled at any point in your life, right?
Yeah, she is courageous. She's out there fighting. She's fighting on the advocacy side, but she's also fighting in the day-to-day, and I just have a ton of respect for that. And you know, I feel so enriched from the perspectives that she's able to share.
We're our own champions in our own stories. Just because we're in a chair does not mean that we're a third-class citizen that doesn't have a voice. And I want to scream it loud, but I want to give the disabled community a voice and have everybody come to the table.